What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here, back with another action figure review. Today, as you guys can see, we're going to be taking a look at the Medicom or MAFEX Batman Hush Hush. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off with that sexy packaging, it does fit the same scheme as the Batman and Catwoman that was released. It does say Batman Hush right there. We have a picture of Hush right here with his teeth gritted. Hush, Batman Hush version, action figure, MAFEX, Medicom Toys, DC. We do have the window packaging where we can see the figure and some of the accessories. At the top it says Batman Hush. He's got his menacing look right there. At the bottom we've got a ton of legal stuff. On the side, Batman Hush, and then here he is right there with that same evil face. We've got a full body image of him right here, and then of course on the back we do have a ton of poses we can get the figure into, as well as more legal stuff. So I've been waiting on this figure for quite some time and I'm really excited, so let's bust this guy open and see what this figure is all about. Now, straight out of the packaging, going on with the sculpt and detail, I think this is just MAFEX once again just really showing off what they can do in terms of quality and looks, because man, this figure looks beautiful. You have the reds, the yellows, the blacks, obviously resembling the colors of Robin, but then you have the trench coat, you've got these gauntlets, you've got this mask. This thing just is a beautiful piece to look at. I don't know what it is, but I read Batman Hush and I watched the movie. Obviously I have two different opinions, but I always thought that just seeing this guy, he was a very unique looking character. He was interesting, and this guy really gave Batman a run for his money. Crazy to think that it was his friend, which is strange, but Thomas Elliott was just a really awesome dude, man, and it's very rare we get to see Batman struggle like that, unless you read some of the other comics. But still, this guy was just dope, and this figure captures that completely. First off, you got all the wrinkles and the bandages and things. This is just painted very nicely. You've got the eyes, the teeth gritted. And this is how he comes in the package, by the way. You've got the line work on the chest. Man, look at that. That looks so nice. You've got the H right there for Hush. And I think it's weird. I think he purposely made this costume to kind of resemble that of Robin, just to mess with Batman a little bit more. Because, I mean, obviously, if you read the comics, you know he does impersonate the dead Robin, Jason Todd. But still, I really think he did this intentionally. But anyway, you've got this right here, all these pouches and stuff on here. This one's just a piece of plastic. This one doesn't move, but these are actually articulated. That's very interesting. I like that they did that. Hopefully these don't break, but you do get a separate belt also. I'll discuss that later. But just all the way down to the boots and the gauntlets, or shin guards rather. This looks dope. The shoes, the jacket. There's a black wash on here to just kind of add some shading to it, make it look a little bit more dirty, more realistic. This thing is just an overall beautiful piece to look at, and straight up, hands down, I don't think we're ever going to get a Hush figure as good as this. Sure enough, I think McFarlane might dive into it, but other than DC Direct and maybe I don't know. Well, Mattel's run is over. I don't know if they ever made this guy, but I don't think we'll ever get a Hush figure as good as this. This thing looks so sick. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and put him back so we can see how tall he stands. Now, when it comes to the height of this guy to the top of his head, as you guys can see, he's right under 6.5 inches. So I think he's going to fit in scale just fine with any of your MAFEX stuff. And of course, I will be showing some size comparisons a little bit later in the video. Moving on to the articulation, this is where it gets a little bit disappointing. It's not bad, but it does have some problems. He looks up about that much, which I think that's fine, especially with the way that they have this jacket on here. It doesn't really hinder the looking up. So looking down, you still don't get much of a problem at all. And that's including the fact that he's got this collar piece right here. So you can actually pull the chin over that and it helps for him to look down. So for when he's staring at Batman from rooftops, you can still get that menacing kind of maniac almost, like, or stalkerish type of vibe from this guy. You do get the tilt and turn as usual. As far as the arms go, you can hit a T-pose, they go out about that much. These do pop off a lot more than I would want them to. My left one especially, it just kind of pops off. And you can plug it back in there, but it doesn't really click, so you don't know that it's in there. You just kind of push it in there, and that's what you get. Now, he does have butterfly joints. Actually, I'm going to pop the jacket off so I can show you guys, because I'm not going to be able to explain it. He has butterfly joints, but the problem is that's about as much as you're going to get out of him. So when he has the trench coat on, you're not even going to really be able to tell that he has butterfly joints. He does have a swivel, but it just kind of swivels in here. There's no actual swivel on the arm. And depending on how you have it positioned, when you swivel it, it will pop off. So that can be kind of annoying. Now, another thing, I'm just going to leave the jacket off. Another thing that bothers me is it looks like he has double jointed elbows, but this is about as much as you're going to get. Like, you can't get his elbows to go in any more than that. So if you want to pose him, I don't know, touching his face, maybe kind of unwrapping the bandages, you're just going to have to finagle with it quite a bit. And the lack of swivel at the butterfly and all of that is just going to kind of hinder you a lot. You'll have to play with it a bit, but that's about as much as you get. If you want to put him in a boxing pose, you can, but yeah, that's the extent of that. Anyway, he does have a diaphragm joint that works very well. He leans back about that much, crunches forward about that much. You can twist and turn at it. He also has a waist swivel or a double ball peg at the waist, so he can crunch forward even more if you utilize that. He can lean back even more. Just watch for all that gappage. And yeah, you can really get this guy to move around. It's a little bit looser than I want it to be, but I still think that the articulation is effective. Now, as far as kicking forward, he can kick forward that much, and that's without me even using the drop down method. But with the drop down method, he can kick even higher. So if you want him kicking Batman in the face, you can totally do that. He does have a thigh swivel also. This leg's going to be a little bit more hindered because of the fact that these are right here. This is just a floating piece. These actually don't articulate up like I showed earlier. So this is just one floating piece. And be careful because it is attached to this kind of skirt piece. But anyway, like I said, you do get thigh swivel. He can do the splits about that much. I wouldn't force it anymore, but I don't really think it's necessary. As far as the knees go, they are double jointed, so you don't have any problems there. Foot goes down about that much, up about that much. You do get ankle rocker and very, very slight toe hinge. It's there, but that's about as much as you get. It's almost to the point that it's not there. But still, articulation wise, I would say it's fine. It's not like this guy did a whole lot of dynamic type stuff in the comic run or in the movie, but still, it's a little bit of a bummer around the arms. So that can make or break it for some people. I think it's fine. And I was so wrapped up talking about the elbows and the butterfly joint on the hands, I forgot to say that they are on the typical hinge. And so you pretty much can move them around just like that. And the only hindrance you're going to get is right here around the sleeve. So yeah, forgot to mention that, but there you go. Now, if you're liking things so far, I can tell you that when it comes to the accessories department, it gets even better. First off, he comes out of the package just like this with the teeth gritted head and a pair of fist hands. You do get a pair of reaching type hands, and this can be for when he's grabbing, trying to, I don't know, do some kind of stylish pose. You do get a pair of relaxed hands, so this can be just when he has his arms down to his side. You get a pair of Batarang type holding hands, and then you get a pair of Batarang claw hands. One of them has two and the other has one. You get a pair of trigger hands, and the reason I'm happy about that is he actually comes with not one but two pistols. This is probably going to be one of the last DC figures to come with guns, and so I'm very happy that these were included. Now, you do also get an alternate belt. This one actually, it's the same, but it has the R on it for when he impersonates Robin. You do get just a stern-looking face. This is him with his frown. Basically, it's he doesn't have his teeth gritted, and it's funny how the bandages cover his mouth on this face, but they don't cover his mouth on that one, so you can see the teeth. I just thought that was funny. He comes with one super small Batarang, and I'm actually going to put this back in the plastic so that I don't lose this, but one thing smaller than that, and I'm hoping you guys can even see it. He comes with this Two-Face quarter. And they could have easily just made this silver, and I don't think anyone would have really cared because of how small it is. But you can actually see the face on there. There's no scratch or anything on the back, but it is a different emblem on the back than the front. It's hard to show this off. Let me put this down before I lose it, because if I drop it on this carpet, it'll never be seen again. You do also get an alternate emblem, and this goes on the chest right here. You just pop this one off, put this on here, and then last, I had to save this for last because, man, this alternate Jason Todd head looks so fire. I love this a lot. You got the white hair right there. I really hope that we get a Red Hood. I know he wasn't technically in the comics, but man, I want a Red Hood, and just so I can put this head on the body. But yeah, in terms of accessories, ton of stuff, and I think that they killed it. Moving on to size comparisons. First off, here he is standing next to the MAFEX Batman Hush. This is the blue version, which is the first one they released, which I still think is a dope figure. I just hate the cape. We do have the MAFEX Superman from Superman Hush, which to this day I still think is the best Superman figure in 6-inch scale. You can't argue with me on that one. And then the MAFEX Batman Hush Catwoman, which I also think is probably the best Catwoman we have in 6-inch scale. So all of these look really, really good together. And it's crazy because out of all of these, Batman, in my opinion, is the weakest. Now, in case you want to get some mix-ups on, here he is standing next to the DC Icons Nightwing, the DC Icons. This is the Batgirl that came with the motorcycle, and then the Mattel classic outfit Tim Drake Robin. And I remember in the comics, Robin was there because I think he ended up getting kidnapped. But I don't remember if it was Damian Wayne or Tim Drake. I think Damian Wayne was in the movie. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comics. But I think he looks real good with the DC Icons. The Mattel Robin is a little bit too big. And now showing him off next to some other lines. Here he is next to a Mezco custom Kit Bash Batman. I want to make sure to emphasize that. This is a custom. He is the SH Figuarts. This is the Sand Rays on Earth Goku with an Ultra Instinct head on the body, and then a Marvel Legends PS4 Gamerverse Spider-Man. Now for my final thoughts on this guy, I'm going to be honest. Y'all probably tired of me saying this, but once again, MAFEX killed it. They absolutely knocked this release out of the park, as in my opinion, they almost always do. Ever so often, you'll get some quality control issues, but other than that, they usually just go all in on these figures. Now, if I had to choose a gripe, I have to say that it's mostly in the arms. The single jointed elbow for me, or the double jointed look with single jointed articulation, is kind of whack. And then the lack of depth in the butterfly joints is definitely a bummer because it is there. So I can't fault them for it being less articulated than I want it to be, but it is there. So I can't fault them for that. But in terms of the looks, the detail, the paint, the quality, the accessories, you're just not going to beat it. I don't think there's going to be a Hush figure better than this unless at some point in the future, I don't know, Hasbro gets their hands on DC and they put out a Hush that is similar to this in articulation, but even still, when it comes to accessories, it's not going to touch this guy. So I don't know. I don't think we'll ever get a Hush figure this good. So this figure for me, if I had to rate it, I'd definitely give it an 8 out of 10. Only not a 10 out of 10 because of the fact that the articulation is a bit limited in the arms. But this is one I just got to say, guys, man, if you like Hush, if you like that run, go pick it up because it seems like they're going all in. We're getting Harley Quinn. We've got Joker. They've already announced Huntress. And at this point, the sky is the limit. I really want Bane. Bane would be awesome. I want Poison Ivy especially. I really think with the fact that they gave Superman some of her accessories, we'll get her. I really, really want a 6-inch Poison Ivy. Then I can do the Gotham City Sirens also. So, yeah, this is awesome, guys. I can't put it any other way. But that being said, this is my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Also, I want Two-Face. But yeah, that's kind of random to throw in at the end, but I want Two-Face. Anyway, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.